Welcome back. It's Thursday. Stephen Carlton, my best friend in the world of finance, is here. First Vice President from Janney Montgomery Scott. Friend beyond the world of finance.
But, Thank you.
When I need financial advice, I come to you.
Yes.
The state is going to be needing some financial advice if they get a windfall soon from this casino. The gamble they're making on casinos. 3 casinos. Upstate New York. There is a plan going through the state Senate right now, actually, as we speak, that could up that number to about 6 or 7 casinos. Of course, we're not sure if that's going to get traction. Governor wants 3 casinos. Let's talk about this in a minute because some of our predictions are coming right. But let's explain to all of you at home. Here's just a quick little video talking about where these casinos could go. Here's our map of New York State, and all 3 casinos will be located in the upstate region. Currently, the area in red is out of the running after the state reached a deal with the Mohawks to settle tax debt. That means Lake George's hopes of a casino are done. In the orange, the Oneida Indian Nation has exclusivity. Of course, Turning Stone is out that way. And in the green, Western New York, there is a deal in the works with the Seneca Nation. That leaves parts of the southern tier, Finger Lakes in the light blue, Hudson Valley in dark blue, and Saratoga region in yellow as the 3 top contenders. All right, fun with coloring today in the graphics department. The story here is that 3 upstate casinos, Western New York's out of the picture, the North Country is out of the picture, that central part of New York's out of the picture because of Turning Stone.
Right.
And what we've been saying is 3 casinos, one was going to go in the Finger Lake region, southern tier, one in the Hudson Valley, another in Saratoga Springs.
You know, some of the people challenged us after the news last week, and they're like, wait a minute, where did you guys get that? How are you drawing that conclusion?
Well, like we do everything, we just make it up.
We make it up, or deduction. And I think we were able to kind of take a look at the state and see where the obvious places were. And, you know, Cuomo really kind of signaled where some of those places could be and where they weren't going to be. And I think we're now at a very, very interesting point, and some of the things we talked about last week seem even more likely.
It seems very likely that Saratoga Springs is going to be the contender. If you look at the area for our district, which, you know, the Saratoga Springs region, there's really no other logical place to put it.
We talked about what is available in Saratoga. We talked about the infrastructure, the hotels, the access, all the other area things that draw people into a community. You're right, Saratoga's got everything in spades.
Yeah, and the Saratoga Casino and Raceway, that seems the logical place for this to go. They have spent more than $1 million developing plans for a $40 million upgrade to their facility. They are serious about this. They want to build a 130-room hotel. They want to put a new gaming floor in, a parking garage, and say they could create 400+ jobs.
The other thing, they've got the land for it. I mean, they've done a lot of very thoughtful things in the last few years to get ready for this exact opportunity. So, you know, I think the odds are looking very, very good for this community, for this kind of investment.
You know, when we were talking about this today as we do our pre-show prep, we're all positive all the time. And you kind of thoughtfully said, wait a minute, there could be a downside to this. Of course, it's going to generate millions of dollars. The governor's already made a mathematical equation of how much the host community gets, how much the state is going to get. Of course, a lot of money from gambling. The state goes to education. So it seems like it's a win-win-win. Maybe not so fast.
Well, you know, you know that I love sitting having coffee at, you know, the different coffee shops in Saratoga, and I like to interact with people in Saratoga and talk about some of those issues. And I've been hearing a little bit more about the other side, you know, some of the social consequences of gambling in society and how it you know, tends to affect people in the middle and lower class a little bit more harshly. So there's some things that we have to be cognizant of, that those parts of the community can be harder hit by these kinds of things coming in. Yes, it's great for tax revenue, but we also need to put some of those monies aside to address some of the social issues that are come out of it.
Well, we're talking about gambling addiction. We're talking about some crime that could be related to this. We already know Caroline Street, the hotbed of activity on the weekends, and there's been a lot of crime on that street. That the city is really trying to be proactive by installing cameras, and they've hired 2 new police officers this week. If you're going to put in a massive casino like this, security is going to be a huge concern, and the cost to cover that.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it that the county and the city will benefit directly from the revenue. And I think Saratoga's trying to get out ahead of this. You know, I saw the other day all the Saratoga police officers on their bicycles driving through town. They're really making their presence known. And, you know, through the years they've done a wonderful job, and I think they're very much aware of how it's going to be a little bit more challenging in the next couple of years.
Yeah, late today, the Saratoga Casino and Raceway out saying they're going to make a major announcement on Tuesday afternoon. Of course, we'll cover that here on Look News. I'm not sure if it's directly related to casino gambling. Of course, they're still a little ways out because we've got to have a second vote in the legislature and a public referendum. But of course, they're making big expansion plans with or without this casino thing. They're buying casinos up in other parts of the country, and they're just gangbusters.
Well, think about this. The precedent now in New York, they've seen other states do this very successfully, and New York is a little tight for money. And this is a great way for Cuomo to kind of prevent us from having to go to higher taxes, prevent us from having to tax companies a little bit more, and use some of this capital to attract things like Azalea, like Global Foundries, and use this revenue to promote business growth.
All right, on to the ongoing fallout from Saratoga County deciding it was going to split ways with the Saratoga County Economic Development agency. That, of course, that's the agency that helped Global Foundries come to our area, helped the Target Center in Wilton come to our area. The county pretty much severed ties with them. Jack Lawyer, he's the committee chairman for Saratoga County. Coming out this week in a Times Union article, some great reporting by Dennis Yusko at the Times Union saying, you know, the reason we did this was they wouldn't allow us to have a player at the table.
But I thought that wasn't the reason. It kind of went back and forth,
yeah,
didn't it?
It wasn't the reason. They said they weren't. They said they just wanted to go their own way. They wanted to develop their own plan. The SEDC said, wait a minute, it's because the county wanted a county supervisor at the table. The SEDC said, no, we want politics to stay out of this process when we're attracting companies. So now he's out in this article saying, yeah, that was kind of the reason.
There's a lot of mixed feelings about this whole project because we've had so much success with this program. So I'm hoping it's not a dead issue, but it's definitely created a lot of controversy because, you know, you do want that separation.
We do want that separation. We want to continue to boost economic development and also keep costs down, which seemed to be what SEDC was doing. Unfortunately, we're out of time. Thursday night, we need our own half-hour show. You need to go talk to the boss because we had so much more to talk to you about.
Always a pleasure, Dave.
Always a pleasure. We'll see you next Thursday, sir. Now, to see this segment and all our Look at Finance segments, head to the website. It's looktvonline.com.